Hey guys, how's it going? It's Danconia and welcome back to the Overwatch League Roundup 2020. So it's time for a general league news update, and today or yesterday, depending on when I'm uploading this, it's probably today, we have had a Watchpoint, which has given us an interview with Jon Spector, the VP of the Overwatch League, and he has given us the lowdown on changes that are coming in the next week or so, and the next months in fact, that will basically catch us up on fixtures missed, and also get us back to, obviously, Overwatch League taking place. Now, as you will probably have heard, Overwatch League is moving to an online format. Because of the coronavirus outbreak, homestands cannot be held. It's just not logistically possible, it's not ethically possible, and that is absolutely the right move for the Overwatch League to make. Now, the only way really they could have done this is moving to an online format, and this is exactly what they've done. This has provided some logistical issues, but they have divided teams up into 4 groups, depending on their geolocation, basically. So, the Overwatch League will start again on Saturday, and will feature 4 matches. All of these matches will come from the Pacific Division. It will feature the San Francisco Shock, the Seoul Dynasty, the Los Angeles Valiant, and the Los Angeles Gladiators. We will get to see the Seoul Dynasty for the first time. We will get to see the Battle of LA for the first time this season. So that's going to be super interesting. There's only going to be 4 matches that we know of at the moment, but it does mean we've got some Overwatch, and it does mean we get to see Seoul Dynasty play for the first time. Now, there is a reason that this has been allowed to happen, and the fact is because Seoul Dynasty are in America, not in Korea. So, this is basically where these teams are. By the way, the full new schedule will be announced sometime next week, according to Jon Spector. So, all of the Atlantic teams that are in the Atlantic Division are based out of the US East Coast right now. So they're all going to play against each other, and the ping shouldn't be too much of an issue. The 6 of the Pacific teams are on the West Coast of America, which includes Seoul Dynasty. Hence, these fixtures will be coming up next weekend. The only issue is the 4 Chinese teams, so Hangzhou, Guangzhou, Shanghai, and Chengdu. They are all still either in China or Korea. I believe the situation was, when the announcements were made of the cancellation of homestands, that Guangzhou, Hangzhou, and Shanghai had moved to Korea, but Chengdu had stayed in China. So, this is the 3rd group of teams, right? And these teams will play within their groups. So, we are probably expecting to see games like Hangzhou versus Guangzhou, Shanghai versus Guangzhou, Chengdu versus Hangzhou, and things like that. All the Chinese teams will face off against each other. But at the moment, as it currently is, it doesn't look like we are going to see the Chinese teams take on teams like Seoul Dynasty or San Francisco or Vancouver, because they are not situated in the correct region. If they were to play each other, the ping would be massive, and it would hurt the competitive integrity of the competition, so this can't happen. Those matches will be played when they can be played, depending on the coronavirus situation, right? Again, there is a ban on movement and ban on flights for America and for Europe and China and everywhere right now. So when that eases, you might have the option of bringing the Chinese teams over to America, or you might have the option of just enabling homestands again. It depends what the situation is at that time, but of course that's completely up in the air. So, in terms of the mid-season break, that is no longer happening. The All-Star weekend or week or whatever you want to call it, has been moved to the end of the league season, to allow different teams to feature on one stage as a celebration of the season, rather than like just a show in the middle of the season. The only problem with this is it means the cancellation of the mid-season tournament. This is due to a lack of competitive fixtures to judge on. Also, it lacks competitive integrity because not all the teams can be in one place. So say if you were part of that mid-season tournament and you selected Hangzhou to be part of that tournament, well, there'd be no competitive integrity there, because if they were to face off against, say, San Francisco Shock, then again, you run into ping issues because you're playing in an online format. So, there is another elephant in the room, and that is obviously the case of cancelled fixtures. We have had a lot of fixtures postponed due to the coronavirus outbreak to cancellations of homestands. This has mainly affected the Pacific Division, but this week the previous week, we have seen no fixtures whatsoever. So this has also hurt the Atlantic Division now as well, with London and Atlanta and Philadelphia Fusion missing out on games altogether. So these will have to be caught up, and the league's plan for this is they are not planning an extension to the season. They are not planning to make the season go on for longer. The backlog is going to be caught up by having matches on a Friday. They are planning to do a Friday show where we will see matches played on a Friday, probably not as many as you would see on a Saturday and Sunday, and they are hoping to do that over the course of March and April and have all of the teams caught up to the games they've missed now by May, and then we will be continuing on from there with a clean slate, with all teams where they need to be. So, obviously any unforeseen challenges due to obviously extenuating circumstances, like we have seen this season, could cause a change to this. And Jon Spector did say that they are not ruling out the season being extended. It is still an option that is on the table. Obviously, if this is the way that it ends up panning out and we're caught up by May, it won't affect things like the Overwatch World Cup. But if the season was to be extended, then it would start to affect things like the Overwatch World Cup, and that would be something that we'd have to look at further down the line. But those are the plans for the fixtures. We will see a lot more when we see the full schedule released next week, or a lot of the schedule released next week, but at least we do know what fixtures we are going to see this coming weekend, and I will be resuming the Overwatch League Roundup properly with a preview of that weekend and a meta preview and all that, but that is for another video. Moving on, and we've got some other changes to the Overwatch League as well. Hero pool rules are going to be changed. The chance of bans will be weighted by hero usage. This has been very widely called for, because obviously we have seen some heroes with very minimal usage, around the 10% mark, being banned, and it not having an impact on the meta we've seen. And we've seen some heroes, like D.Va is a named one, like she last week, or the last played week anyway, had a above 90% pick rate and was not banned. So that is kind of unfair. To sort this out, and they said that we're not banning the most played heroes automatically because they want to introduce unpredictability to the meta and to avoid two metas that seesaw between weeks. I understand that, and that's completely the right thing to do. So this is how it will work. If a hero has a 10 to 25% pick rate, they will have one ticket in the hero pool drum. If they have a 25 to 50% pick rate, they will have 2 tickets in that drum. If they have 50% to 75% pick rate, they will have 3 tickets in that drum, and anything above 75% will get 4 tickets in that drum. So there you see that it's now weighted to the hero percentage of heroes use percentage, and therefore we should see a bigger shift in heroes that see much bigger pick rates, like D.Va, like Mei, and hopefully that should kind of balance it a bit better than it was at, because we have seen Soldier 76 and Sombra banned, and Winston. It's kind of weird, and the biggest outlier to me was Moira in the first hero ban. She was not really meta. She snuck in with 10% and got banned, and we still saw Anna and Lucio a lot, or Anna mainly anyway. So that's the way the hero pools are going to be changed. Now, with the Overwatch League resuming this coming weekend, we will see a new map pool. This is to be expected. We are expected to see 4 map pools throughout the season, and so they will be changed at certain intervals, and this seems like an appropriate time to change that map pool. Now, the map pool is as follows. Control maps don't change because we feature all control maps this season due to the change in format, the 1st to 3 format, and the change after you've played Control, Assault, Hybrid, Escort in any order, apart from Control being first obviously. You see Control from then on, so you need a lot of control maps in the pool. So Ilios, Oasis, Busan, Nepal, and Lijiang Tower will all be staying in for the control map type, but the others will be changing. So, for Assault, we will see Hanamura, Volskaya Industries, and Paris. Oh, goodness gracious me. I believe Hanamura was in before, but Volskaya Industries and Paris are new. Again, Paris. That map still needs to be reworked. Yeah. Hopefully they ban Orisa. It's going to need to happen. Hybrid, we're going to see Hollywood, Eichenwald, and Numbani. Eichenwald is a returner from the last map pull, but Hollywood and Numbani are new. Again, we won't see King's Row this time, which is a shame, and we won't see Blizzard World either. Moving on to Escort, we will see Rialto, Route 66, and Dorado to round out our map pool for the coming weeks. So, Dorado again returning, Rialto and Route 66 are new to the pool for this time around. and it's always nice to see things like Route 66 and stuff like that. We'll miss King's Row, but we can't have it all the time. And goodness gracious, we'll just have to pray to the almighty gods that Paris is not as bad as it used to be, but it probably is. Anyway, that is the update I wanted to bring to you guys for this. A lot of changes, but this has basically filled us with all the information we needed to know. The only information we are missing now is the full reworked schedule of the rest of the fixtures to see when the Atlantic Division will resume and when the Chinese teams will resume playing as well, and what we will see on the first Friday fixtures, which is going to be awesome. We're going to have 3 days of coverage. Oh, bum, that means I'm going to have to change the upload schedule. Well, that's not the first time, is it? The previews when the Friday fixtures start will be going out on a Thursday instead of a Friday. That's all that has to be said. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a like, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you in the next video. See you then.